How does it look? Hang on. Oh dear Lord Jesus. Hey, Peyton. Such a goofball. Alright. Here is my blueberry muffins that I made. See? Can we see it? I don't know, am I getting it close to the camera? Okay. Haven't had one yet. Hi, Quack. Alright, so my whole plan was to work on photos. I got so distracted by some really cute old photos because I wanted to try that viral 1990s. What did you look like in the 90s? Well, younger, obviously. Hi, Hi, Critter. Okay. I assume you can hear me. I charged my microphone. I'm going to hold it like a little old lady. I have so many cute old photos, and I should really get my act together and make a video. This is where the magic happens. I'm either on my phone, which is what I'm recording this with, editing with CapCut, or I do it on this computer, which is my husband's computer, and he's getting full of my stupid videos. So I've been trying to transfer them off. Maybe I should try. Maybe I should get my own computer. Anyway, muffin. It's probably too messy to eat this right now. I'm not doing a mukbang. Little strawberry kiwi juice. There's my curly antler. I haven't found the other one, but he's my pal. Can you guys tell me what this is? I found it. What is that? I know in general what it is. What is that? So small. It's very small. I can't read it because it's rusty and I'm blind and old. Is it really? I will. Hi, Henry. I should just make everybody a mod. How do I do that? Oh, I can't do that on my. Oh, I can't do that because I'm watching you on a different channel. Watching me on a different channel. I'm dumb. One of these days I'll figure it out. So on this computer, let me see if I move this. You can see what I've been up to. Maybe not. I'll move this over here. And you can see some of my older pumpkins. That's my niece. That's Mia and Ford. So I'm just editing. I was gonna make a cute thumbnail for whenever I made videos or like an intro to my videos. I think that would be kind of cool. 410 shotgun shell. Okay, cool. I don't have a 410. So we have these guys that hunt on our property. They must have dropped them. They were rabbit hunting, I think. Hi, random user. Yeah, we need to do an intro. Some, and the AI being, I don't really want to use AI very much because the data centers that use up the water, are hurting communities. But that video that I made with Maggie and Butters, that song, Maggie and Butters, best friends forever. That was AI. They made me that song. Kind of like it. So I might come up with some words and then maybe AI a little intro music so I don't get slammed with some copyright if I ever get monetized. So it's delayed, so it's a little weird. I'm not used to this. All right, so I had AI. I know it's terrible. So I just complained about it, and now I have like AI said, "Make me a pumpkin." They don't grow like this, obviously. But every time you see a pumpkin, it looks like this, and we call this the Cinderella style. It's very hard to do a giant pumpkin like this. Um, you have to dig a hole. You have to get hike up the vines very high. You have to use a lot of props all around, and they can't be metal because you don't want to hurt the plant. So it all has to be like pool noodles and wedges of styrofoam stuff. Anyway, so if you see one of these at like a pumpkin way off, you know that whoever did that spent even more time in the garden than regular giant pumpkin growers. What is my favorite thing to do besides growing huge well, doing dishes. Kidding. Um, I'm a professional complainer. No, I I do the graphic art. I do fun creative stuff. I used to have a whole room of crafts, and then we had a grandchild and all my crafts went away to the basement. But you really can't see, but my house is covered in photographs, so I do a lot of editing photos. So I'm sitting here when I'm not sick, and oftentimes because of my stupid chronic illness, I find myself not being able to do much some days. So when I have a good day, like today, I will do my makeup, do my hair, go outside. Because normally, if I'm not feeling good, I'm still trying to get outside and touch grass. And I do touch a lot of grass and dirt and worms. I'm not afraid of being outside. It's leaving the house looking human. What do I do? Crafty stuff. Do you want to see what I made recently? 25 bucks for a muffin. Hi, Jesse Jackson. I never settle. Thank you so much for. Hi, Gundog. Well, Gundog. So I'd love to make everybody mod, but I am not on my. Let me see if I can do it on this. That's how I'm looking. Okay, I got a computer here. You're on my phone, and I have an iPad that I am watching. So maybe I can switch. Can I switch it? And maybe I can do that at the same time. No, can't. Oh, I guess I have to be. Hmm. I have to be recording from that to be able to do that. Dang it. I could. Mm, I don't know. Let me see if I can do it from behind. No. Okay. I have it all jacked so you can't see. If I knock it down, you are jerry rigged. Jerry. And as a matter of fact, I think you might have fallen down a little bit. Petting grip. Yeah. My daughter was little. Shh, don't tell her. About one. Wrapped her, bundled her all up, and took her out for spring. It was like her birthday's in the spring. And she just sat down and she was like screaming. But then she grabbed the grass, pulled it up, and just started shoving it in her mouth to try and calm herself down. So sad. She does not like grass to this day. Hi, country boy. Where's country boy? Oh, there. Hi. Thank you. Thanks for the sub, Jesse. Did you want to see my latest project? I don't know if I can show it to you. It's so big. It won't really fit right here. I can try. You want to see it? What do I use? To edit, I use Photoshop. I have the real Photoshop 6 in a real tangible DVD or whatever. And then I use Photoshop Elements on every other computer. Um, so it depends on which computer I'm on. And then the videos I use CapCut. My husband uses Final Cut Pro, which I find to be maddening. And good for him because I have zero patience for that application. It's super expensive though. Yeah, digital. I love to print things out and make stuff. You know, when the scrapbooking came around, I got into that. So, I have a lot of money in scrapbooking supplies and all the tools. I didn't get a Cricut though. I stopped there and I didn't get a 3D printer. Hell yeah. We want to see? Okay, you want to see? Okay, I'm going to try and show it to you. Now, I have a granddaughter and she's very tall. And for Halloween, she said, Grammy, can you help me be a female Jack Skellington? And I said, yeah, hell yeah, I'm in. Because I like makeup and I like hair and I like dressing up. I have been some pretty crazy things for Halloween over the years. Yeah, the Cricut thing is so expensive. Okay, if I put the microphone down for a second, let me show. I'll try and show you. Okay. Oh, let's see how the reflection. It's so big. Anyway, there's more to it. See this side of it. There's more. There's more. Oh, okay. All right. reflection is so bad. Okay, anyway. Sorry, the reflection was really bad. And then who's in a hospital bed? Country boys in a hospital bed? Thrice? I mean, in your house or in a hospital? Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I love doing cool stuff. Crafty stuff. And I'm just giving those away. I'm not keeping those. There's two of them. And they're a little bit different. That's her best friend. Her and her best friend. Who was it? You're in the hospital. Okay. Is that the bed that has the air? So when you move, it's still supposed to prevent bed sores. And it weighs you. I've been in the hospital. I know. They suck in general. But those were my least favorite. They're sticky and noisy. And even though you can adjust them, I can never get comfortable. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you get better and get out. Their food is terrible. I just assume maybe it's one of the rare hospitals that has awesome food. I hope it does, but mine did not. My mouse pad. This one under my drink or the one that I am under my keyboard? This one? It's the big one. Which beach? It is Little Point Sable Lighthouse by Mears, Michigan, on Lake Michigan. Fruit belt, come pick some blueberries. Oh, I would love to. I love blueberries, but now I can't eat them. Well, the teeny tiny seeds in them. I have to remove seeds. It sucks. So you see me not eating that. I really make them for everybody else. I get my girlfriend to bring me McDonald's. McDonald's is in food. But it's probably better than the hospital food. Yeah, the long one under the keyboard. That is Little Point Sable Lighthouse at Lake Michigan. Beautiful beach. Not far from my husband's family's cottage. So I get to spend a week there every once in a while. Yeah, so when it came to getting a mouse pad, I went on Amazon, I'm sorry, and I found that if you give them a picture, they can make a really long mouse pad. And I think mouse pads are never big enough. So I got him this long one, and at first he said, "It's pretty, but I'm not going to use it." Now we love it. We just love it because I built this table out of antique doors, and then I decoupaged a bunch of maps on them of all of our favorite places. And then I bought glass to go on top of them, and I had to have them grind the edges so we didn't cut ourselves. And then I propped them up with a bracket in the middle. It's like a corner, big two doors, and on each end is a file cabinet, so we can put our files. And created this office space. That's me being crafty. What am I missing? Um, different pumpkins this year. I think I want to go back to having just orange pumpkins. I tried the white ones. Um, And I think I picked two different seeds to try. I want to go with orange, and I really just want it to be bigger than what I've had before, which would be nice. Hi, Mrs. Oakridge. Aw, thank you. Thank you very much. What area is the cottage? It's half a mile away from the lighthouse. So, Little Point Sable Lighthouse, if you find that on a map, go south about a half mile and there's our little cottage. It's very, very nice lake, a nice neighborhood. Then we go into Mears and Silver Lake and Hart, Michigan. So those are close by. Yeah, I'm a night owl. I am not a morning person. We got honeybees one year because vet, our veterinarian at the time, so good with our daughter. He he sold honey and he said you can have some honeybees, and we took a class on how to be beekeepers and we bought all the equipment, and he gave us bees and they did not last, and it's because I was in charge of them. I am not. You have to be out there looking after them before the sun comes up. And that's not me. But my husband's really good and about getting up really early. So I'm thinking once he retires, we're gonna get bees again. We're gonna try that out. The neighbors had bees, and turned out my veterinarian was only like a mile down the road from us, which is 10 houses anyway. So I think we'll have more success if he's in charge. Just saying. Yeah, night owl for sure. Yeah, that's why you're all here. Corey's here. Hi, what's up? I If I'm ever on live again and I'm on my phone and you guys show up, I'm just gonna mod everybody. Just I love that. I love seeing all the blue names. How do you grow? So, wait a minute, did I miss anything? That's Mrs. Who? 6 to 6. I am not a beekeeper, right? Sorry, I felt so bad. We had raccoons, and what they would do, oh, I hate raccoons with a passion. Little bandits. They would go up to the hive at night and scratch, and one guard bee would come out to find out what the hell's going on. Somebody's knocking on my door. And they're all women, just saying, so you know, all honeybees are female. And he would just grab it and eat it like it was candy until the little bastard ate all of my honeybees. Shits. And then I had a hive closer up to the front door thinking that would make it easier for me to take care of. Well, no, what happens is that it gets so damn hot right here by the front door. The wasps took over and they can sting over and over and over and over and over again. Honeybees didn't have a chance. I'm so terrible. I felt so bad. All right, how do you grow such huge pumpkins? Okay, first of all, I don't have any of my pumpkin stuff here except pictures. You have to start with a species called Atlantic giants. And these pumpkins are genetically predisposed to being huge, not edible, just for funsies. And what you really have to do is let one grow on a plant at the apex of the plant. So at the well, I guess apex would be, I don't know, but there's one main vine, and off the one main vine you will get secondaries. Don't grow anything on the secondaries. You go to the end of the main vine, 10 to 16, 18, 22 feet out, and pollinate that one, and then don't let any other ones grow. And then all the energy from that entire plant goes to that one pumpkin. And then protect it with your life. Hopefully, it'll grow really big and don't have bug problems, don't have mice problems, don't have cats and dogs running through their kids or a fungus or bugs. And there's so many things that can go wrong, or trees falling on your patch. Don't let any of that happen. And then maybe you too can grow a giant pumpkin. So we gotta start with that genetic Atlantic giant seed. I have seeds. If you guys want to contact me, if you want to try growing some, whoever wants one, I would be more than happy to send out some seeds. I love honey too. I'm behind. Hi, Crunchy Cracker. Thank you. Oh, bye, Crunchy Cracker. I'm so behind. Whose dog was not doing well? Oh, sorry. I hope he's doing better now. No, I'm not gonna hang my freshie yet. I don't want to upset anybody who's gonna. Mine is gonna be so much bigger than everybody else's. I'm gonna wait until I get back from the meeting. I don't make anybody feel bad. I want them to appreciate the beauty that you created. Play the banjo. When my mom was in the nursing home, and she and I would go around and visit everybody just to get her out of her room and entertain her for a while. We met this woman who was pretty much with it here. She had a lot of physical problems, but she was really just living out her last days and um, really still doing stuff. And she had a dulcimer, and she pulls it out and she goes, I want to get back to playing this. And it was kind of broken. So I said, hey, I know where to take that. So I took it and got it fixed for her, brought it back to her. She cried and then she started playing it. It was beautiful, really beautiful. So, if you really want to want to do it, do it. Yeah, they're not okay. I'm finally catching up on honeybees. They're very important. They're not edible. Yeah, they humans like sweet stuff, and this is very stringy and fibery and just water and fiber. Um, like if you could give it to your cows or goats, other critters will eat them. Not that they're not edible, they're not poisonous, but not very enjoyable, and they don't make good pie. What am I teaching you, Ruger? Oh no, never said I was teaching you something. Okay, good. I cannot play guitar. I cannot. I guess I could if I really tried. If I really wanted to, I could do it. I can send you guys some pumpkin seeds. No, no lie. I've got, and you can even grow giant tomatoes or giant sunflowers. I have all the seeds, man. I can hook you up. Oh, is there a 4-year-old up at this hour? Peyton, go to bed. 4 years old. I don't think I was allowed to be up this late at 4 years old. 5-ish. Uh, what kind of dog is it? I got a terrible dog story for you. You ready? Okay. My really awesome dog. We were cutting down black walnut, like 6-inch diameter trees because we're gonna build me a tripod so I can hang a sifter right next to my compost pile, so I can throw compost in it and have a wheelbarrow under there and sift compost and take it over to the garden and dump it, right? So we're sawing these things down, and my cute dog is running around enjoying being outside with us. Not really watching her that great. And my husband says, I think she's eating the wood chips. And I'm like, well, don't do that. I don't know how much she ate. Come to find out, I hate black walnuts. And I knew that they were pretty toxic to plants, but I didn't know dogs could get dead from them. But apparently they can. So she starts puking all over. And little did I know this was awesome. This was a good thing. But later she was paralyzed. She was barely breathing and laying on her side with her eyes wide open, freaking out. And I'm like, oh my God, my dog is going to die. So close to Lansing, we have MSU, Michigan State University Emergency Veterinary Hospital. So I called there and they're like, oh, she's beyond what we can do. Let me give you poison control. And I went, what? So she gave me that number and I called and they were so busy. They were all business and very serious and got right to it. They're like, has she thrown up? Yes. Well, that's all you can do. Now you gotta wait it out. By 8 o'clock in the morning, if she isn't up and drinking or eating or pissing, she's gonna die. And I went, holy fuck. So I stayed up all night watching that dog breathe and not move a muscle. She couldn't move. I'm crying, freaking out. That is horrible. And as you know, she's fine. She got up 8:30 in the morning, shaky, dragged herself to the water bowl, drank, and I went, God damn it. Pardon me. Good dog. I'm going to bed. So she was fine. Now I have to watch her. Like my property is covered in black walnut trees, which I hate because they don't like gardens and growing things. Oh, oh my God. Yeah. So she's always trying to die. I mean, choking on stuff. And oh man. So anyway, black walnuts. They're evil for more than just plants. Your dog too. What did I miss? Hope I hope I made you feel better. If it's drinking, eating, or pissing, you'll be fine. All right. What is Oh, yes, giant sunflower seeds. How far back did I? Oh, what have I missed? Okay. Giant sunflower seeds. Right. Remind me. Remind me. I will put some in the mail for you. Ruger's birthday? Ruger and you, Jesse? Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. You live in a zoo. You smell like a monkey. And you look like one too. Just kidding. That's how I grew up. 5 brothers and sisters. We did nothing but razz each other. Hope I didn't offend. So I have seeds from a 20-inch wide sunflower head. Big. I can give you some of those. I'm going to try and grow some this year too. The lady that grows them here in Michigan, Carrie Landis is her name. She weighs like 60 pounds. She and I are like grandmas, and they have to build a structure to protect their. They use a man lift to work on their sunflowers, and they also grow giant corn too, which I had no interest in. I don't know what it was, 17 feet tall or something. It's crazy. What am I missing? It was horrible. I assume we're talking about the dog 'cause I'm really far behind. Yeah, scared the crap out of me. I was so tired, and she pulled through, and I'm thinking about, how much I paid for this dog. I know. It's not like I had built like some wonderful long bond with her yet. She was just a year old, trying to die. Okay. Thanks, Ruker. Mm, okay. Yeah. I mean, when I first got her as a puppy, rocks were her favorite thing to eat. Terrible. She would be throwing up in the kitchen. I'm like, where'd this rock come from? I'm not getting any photos edited. I see. It's okay. It's okay. Black walnuts. Was it 2007? Someone came to our door and said he was a lumber broker and wanted to know if we'd be interested in selling some of our trees. I think, hell yeah. I want to get rid of some of these black walnuts, which is what they were interested in. I have maples and I have oaks, and those don't bother me because they do not poison my garden. When I first moved out here and I saw all this land, the first thing I wanted to do was plant a garden because I grew up in suburban Detroit and there was tons of shade and no open space. And I hated it. Too much concrete. And I said, when I grow up, I want to have a garden. I want a garden. So I plant one right away. You know, I plant flowers and lettuce and broccoli, and I wanted some apple trees, and I wanted it all. I'm like, I have 20 acres out here. I could grow so much food. And the first year, things kind of grew and it was all right. And the second year, things didn't want to grow. And by the third year, nothing would grow. And I'm like, what the mother? I'm so pissed and so sad. We took the Master Gardener class and learned really quick that black walnut trees are so toxic. And the most susceptible things are tomatoes. And I said, I have never been able to grow a tomato. That was like the first thing that would wilt and die. And it all, made sense after that because the garden was surrounded by black walnut roots and trees. And I would, dig and toil and till up the ground and find all these roots. And they were this bright yellow root. And I'm like, that is a black walnut root. And they were just everywhere. And so I gave up. I said, mm-mm, not even, I'm not gonna, there's no point in trying anymore. And so that was, let's see, 2000. And then in 2007, the lumber broker showed up. And meantime, I had opened up that soil, right? So I just started throwing flowers in there, native flowers or anything that would grow. So hostas or daylilies that you find on the side of the road, things that grew locally. I would just fill that garden up with that. And so I still had something, but I wasn't eating any of it. But the butterflies and the birds enjoyed it. So when the broker showed up, I was very excited. But my husband loves his trees, and he was not excited. But he thought about it and he said, well, maybe just a few with black walnuts. And if we get rid of those, maybe you can have your garden again. We had taken the master gardener class and they said, if you cut the trees down and remove some of the roots, it'll take a few years, but you'll eventually be able to garden. So I was like, hell yeah. So, um, the broker came through the property and marked up a bunch of trees with spray paint and GPS them in his little computer. And then he put the trees up for bid. So um, I was told at that time that there would be bidding companies, loggers to come through. They would knock on the door, introduce themselves, and tell me they were on the property and they were going to look at the trees. And they all sprayed painted the trees their own colors. So for a while there, it was really pretty out there. So many dots on all my black walnuts. And eventually, when all the bids came in, they wrote it all up and sent it to us and said, here are all the bids and the different companies. We can look into them and look into their practices and see if they're, worthy to have on our property. Because you invite people on your property, it's kind of dangerous sometimes. I don't know, and I don't want them screwing things up. I want them to be respectful. I want them to do a good job and stay clean. And so we went with one of them, and I think they took 27 trees. I think we got like 6 grand from those. Um, the thing is that they all said the same thing in their bids, that none of my trees were, uh, what do you call that? Thinking of uh, the, the better wood. I can't think. Veneer. Yes, thank you, Ruger. Veneer worthy. So, what you have to do to make them veneer worthy is not have any branches from the ground to like 18 feet up, ideally, but they'll accept like 14 feet or 12 feet, depending. So, I'm like, whatever, man. I don't care. Cut them down and get them out of here. So, um, many years after that, it was like, I, you know, I waited for a sign, I guess, after the trees were gone. Year after year, I would look at that garden and go, everything's still struggling. Those flowers, even though they're local, nothing flourished. I mean, they did all right, but they didn't go nuts. Then one year, what year was it? It had been like 2014. Yeah, 7 more years. And all of a sudden, I'm looking out there and it's spring and everything is double in size. And I'm like, holy crap, I think this is my sign. So, what I did was I dug all those flowers out and put them in pots and stuck them on the side of the road and said, free, you could have them. I want them out of here because I'm going to grow food. And then I started finally having a garden that I wanted to have. Veneer. And I still have a lot of black walnuts. I could still sell another 27 trees. You won't let me though. So when we had that big storm here in Michigan in 2003, when we had tornado force winds and we were out, we didn't have power for like 6 days. A farmer came down the road and cleared the road for the road commission, and he cleared our driveway, and then he helped us, yeah, get in and out of our driveway. And then after that, it was cleanup for like months after that. We had trees on our house, we had trees on our barn, we had trees on our vehicles. But thank God it didn't go through the roof and just dented some things. But a couple of our trees that he really loved that were right there in the front of the property were all twisted and broken. And I said, they gotta go. They look like crap. So the insurance company came through, and I really didn't have any house damage or anything like that. He goes, but you've been paying for cleanup, which you should have hired somebody. So we're going to give you some money for that. And I'm like, cool. So I used that money and had a company take those broken, really messed up trees down so I could get a little bit more sun into my pretty little garden and got rid of those very broken. And they had, what do you call them? Widowmakers? Nah, some sketchy broken trees. It was really bad. My neighbor, just the next house over, hopefully nobody was, I didn't hear anybody got hurt, but one tree went right through his pole barn. I cut it in half, and another tree came down and cut his. He had like one of those huge house mobile home trailer pulling a big one. Cut that in half too. So I think in Williamston they still have a lot of damage. There's more funny stories about that storm, but we'll save them. Oh, are we talking about veneer? Veneer. I think you're supposed to drink, right? Yeah. Nothing but trees on this property. It's hard to find some open space. I think when my husband first bought this with his first wife, the farmer was farming the back of the property. And so when the farmer found out he had bought it, he came to the door and said, can I still farm that? And my husband, it wasn't my husband at the time, he said, no. I'm gonna plant trees. And he did. Oh, so we have a lot of trees. He planted black walnuts, um, maples and oaks and hickories. I think he's been trying to get some hickories going. Everything looks scared. Oh, during hunting season, everything looks dead. I hunt from a saddle. So I pick a tree and start climbing. This past season, a few trees I get up, like, well, maybe today. Alright. They can be so dangerous. We have tripod blinds and tree blinds where there's a ladder and a bench strapped up there. A couple of them have been up there so long we had to take them down because they weren't safe anymore. Hickory trees, I know nothing about them. My husband is the tree guy. I just know that oaks are strong, good wood. Maple is also a good wood. Pine trees are terrible. Nobody wants to burn those. And they're they fall apart. Maples fall apart pretty easy too. Up on the top, that was all the trees that came down were all maples. All my oaks were good, except for the one across the street, which wasn't mine. It was the farmer's, and it was the one that blocked the road, and it was so huge. It looked like 10 trees in one. You know, I don't know, like the size. Its girth of its trunk was like a small car, how big it was. And that sucker came down, and it is still out there. The farmer let people come and cut it up, take it for wood to burn. And I'm glad because it was just laying there, gonna rot anyway. There's an 80-year-old man collecting that wood. He's using that to heat his house. cedar trees are bad, Will? Are they brittle? Do they just fall apart? Are they messy? I don't have a whole lot of those. I have false cedars here in Michigan. I don't think we have true cedars. And they look like a arborvitae. They look like a bush. And the deer love them. They're very delicious. Oh, really? Invasive? Flammable? Oh, shit. Well, I think any of them can be flammable. We'll cut them all down. I don't know. It's. I'm not a tree fan. They're important. I get it. I do enjoy the pileated woodpeckers. I think I have a breeding pair. I see the male and the female, and they hang out together. If I didn't have trees, I probably wouldn't see them. I like that. Yeah, and if it's really dry, like I am in a very low spot. Ruger leaving? Did he say he's going night night? He said he hates hickory trees. I love oak trees. I do too. Oak trees are my favorite. I mean, I like Christmas trees just for Christmas. Get off my garden sign. Yeah, and no trees allowed. Big tree with like the red circle and the X through it. No black walnut trees. I hate you. You can go. Night night, Ruger. Thanks for hanging out. Did I start this? I don't even know. Sweet dreams, Ruger. Happy birthday. Yeah, if it's dry, it's not good. It's just been so wet this year. Okay, Courtney, thank you so much for coming. Night, Critter. I should probably get off and get something done. The editing that I didn't bother doing. But yeah, we need to work on intros and maybe an outro. I don't know. Oh, did you get a big fire, Will? Yeah, mine is a false cedar. Delicious. But not really good for wood. I have a special one in my front yard that I take really good care of, though. Shh, don't tell anybody. It was my grandfather's tree. When he passed away, and they were going to sell off the property and put grandma in a home. Or was she dead first? No, she was still alive. He passed away, and on their property, he had these false cedar trees, and then there was like a baby one. You can make a sapling out of laying in the ground and putting a little dirt on it, making it root, and you can cut it off and have a baby. Takes time, but you can do it. And I think that's what had happened. So I cut that off, put it in a pot, brought it home, and now this sucker's like 30 feet tall, and the deer love to eat it. But every time I look at it, I think of my grandfather. What's going on now? Courtney. Good night, Critter. Mm. Makes me happy that you have cows. Our neighbor, our farmer, he's a dairyman. He had 280 head of cattle at the height, I think. At the end, maybe not that many. Just a white and black dairy cow. I'm not sure which ones those are called. He's the farmer that passed away at the end of 2024, and now there's no cows over there. And I miss him. He was a good man. I don't miss the manure, though, that he spread on the fields right in front of my house. I don't miss that part, but I think about him a lot. Always, always helping out, always looking out for his neighbors. And my dog groomer, she had those shaggy cows, the just for looks cute cows. She would groom them, paint their nails, decorate their heads with flowers. Then they got really big. And then she had to give them away. So cute. What are we doing? We're talking about those were baby islands. They ended up getting big. Still smaller than a horse though. That's a lot of cow. 40 minutes from Critter. Yeah, I knew that. Jesse is by Critter too? Oh, okay. Cool. Very cool. Maybe Gundog and I aren't that far apart from each other either. So I am here-ish. And I think he might be here-ish. How could they have to figure that out? And in Michigan, that could be an hour away or more. You go where the cottage is, way over here, like 3 hours. And then if you go up to Traverse City, up here, three and some change. I don't know why. I guess it's highway as opposed to little roads. You know, a little road and you gotta go slower and there's a lot of turns. Takes longer. No three-legged deer. And I don't know if I posted that video. Yeah, I did. Of the limping coyote. Haven't seen her. But I have seen her husband during the day. He's hunting. So she must have pups. And she can't leave them. Or she's dead. I don't know. I'm gonna go with pups. And he's probably looking for dinner. Stiff critter. Cool. That is nice. You can do a meetup. Yes, it's the only state you can use your hand. It is the coolest shaped state. Unless you're from Florida and you look like a. I have a three-legged raccoon. That was in one of my videos recently. That deer that is an older video, and I think it was a buck. It was a big deer. Got hit by a car and healed. That leg eventually broke off, that half, and that mangled shoulder healed up and got hit by a car again and didn't make it and laid down on the corner of my property. So I still have all his bones sitting there. Poor thing. But I live on a gravel road and people fly down our road. It's very rude and dangerous. So dogs, raccoons, skunks, anything in the road, fair game. they will kill you and they do not care. And some people speed up when they see something in the road. Oh my God. Seriously. Yeah. But the worst, it was so bad, that poor thing. Where's all the legs going? I know, right? Must have got trapped or, my husband worked at, on a survey crew for a while. And that's Maggie moving around. And he said, he would have to cross property lines and over fences and, really rudimentary fences, barbed wire and some stakes, right? And he said he would sometimes just find animals hung up, dead, like they could not get themselves free from the fence. So sad. And I imagine some of them get free from the fence and maybe lose a foot. All my raccoons, if you've been watching my videos, they look so healthy, even the three-legged one. Skin looks good, fur looks good. I mean, I have that one that's doesn't have vision in one of its eyes. Lays down when it eats. Still pretty damn healthy. Out in the barn, my husband has a collection of dead heads because of the survey crew that he was on for so many years. He would find so many buckheads, swampy areas that nobody ever sees, and they were just in buckets and stuff. So one day I was out there and I said, Father's Day is coming. So I created a whole wall for him. So he's got a nice wall of all his dead heads now. I'm so crafty. All right, so if anybody wants pumpkin seeds, you can, if you're on Mrs. Oak, we're already friends. We got our addresses. But for everybody else who's not as familiar, you can find me on Critter Getter Outdoors page on Facebook. And then from there, you can DM me and then we can figure it out. I'll get you some seeds. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for stopping in. I don't have any big fish. Get a fake pumpkin right here. Oh, I stopped in and watched Cindy too. We're just shooting the shit. I was gonna do some editing of photos, um, but I didn't do it. I was thinking I needed to work on having like an intro or an outro or photo thumbnail photo card ready to go that just showed off some of my pumpkins. Like, here's a picture of me. I don't know if you can see it. So this was my first go at a giant pumpkin. I was dyeing my hair. I've given up on that. And what did I do to make them grow? I just milk grow. Whatever you could get at the local grocery store that had a like garden section. Even though I didn't use stuff like that on the food that I would grow, I would just use compost and try and naturally because I didn't want to add anything weird to my food. But when it came to these, since I'm not eating them, I said I'm going to use the most basic toxic crap I can find that's supposed to help. Miracle Grow. I've now moved on from that. I use that for my potted flowers, so I don't care. But when it came to the pumpkins, I started using like Neptune's Harvest, and then come to find out all those potheads that grow all that marijuana, they know they have all the good stuff at their stores. So I shop there now. Get the CalMag and all that great stuff. Oh, here's my biggest pumpkin. I really need to put this on the intro or something. Um, and that was the year of the tornadoes. It would have been bigger if the giant tree didn't land in my patch. Damn trees. They hate me. The fan. Yeah, look at me. I'm huge. Just kidding. Um, yeah, so it was still a month to go of growing. That was August 24th, 23rd is when the storm was on the 2023. And a huge log, a branch broke off of a stupid maple tree that's, damn it, too close to the garden anyway, and just landed, boom, right on the main. And it made everything stop. And it never got any bigger. It would have gotten bigger, no doubt. But the Lord said, no, not this time. So I was still happy. I love the color. That one's one of my favorite colors. Made an intro, and that's why I wasn't here. Oh, you've been working? Will. Nice. I look forward to seeing that. Oh, I'll check out your short. I watched you grab two fish. I stuck around for two. In a community post. I'm gonna have to check it out. Go check it out. Yeah. I love the orange ones. So let's see, what else do I got going on here? I got a bunch of AI garbage. I'm gonna judge me. Let's see. Oh, this is my little town. It has a sign that says, "Welcome to my little town." And after the way off, you take your pumpkin carefully to an official way off, and it gets weighed, and everybody oohs and ahs. It's a lot of fun. And after that, you can sell your pumpkin. Well, mine was not desirable enough to sell, or for some reason I didn't sell it. I've sold them before, and I brought it home. I can't remember the circumstance, but there was a reason I brought it home. And oh, her name, because when you're babying something like this for months and months and months, you end up naming it. So her name this year, that was 2024, was Heaven, and I let one of my subscribers name her. It's a perk of being a subscriber, I guess. And my husband said, "Why don't you ask and see if you can donate it to the town or something?" I said, "Great idea. It's still on the trailer. If they want it, we can deliver it." And I thought, of so many fun things. Like maybe there's a huge Halloween display somewhere. I don't know. Maybe they need a pumpkin. And when I called the town, they're like, "Oh, we have just the spot for it. We're gonna put it right there by the sign, and it'll welcome everybody to our town." I went, "What? What? Okay." And so we drove it over there, and the woman in charge of decorating the town, I guess, they have the flag, the poles, the light poles, and everybody has like their town name, and she's that girl. She's my age. She's getting ready to retire. She's like, "I got this." And I said, "Well, I'm going to bring my giant scarecrow that I made when my daughter was 2. She's 30. So the scarecrow right here is an 8-foot tall scarecrow made out of a sheet of plywood. And I've never repainted him. That's the original paint. He's two-sided and he's waving. Anyway, they said, "Yeah, bring it." So he has a name. His name is Charlie. So we put Charlie in heaven at the sign to welcome everybody into our little town. And then when it was Christmas, or just before Christmas, they took it down, and I collected the seeds and gave them away. I still have some, but we did it again last year with Snow White was the name of my pumpkin last year, which my granddaughter named that one that time. How do you move them? That's a good question. So, okay. Since it's just a giant fruit, you have to be really careful. We have pumpkin lifting rings that have been designed and created by people who have welders and um, toe straps, lifting straps. Really, their toe straps are different than lifting straps. Um, and I think it has 6 to 8 straps all around it, which are in a big loop around every section. And then there's a rope that goes through the loops at the bottom. So you carefully either a tractor with forks or hook, or a skid steer with the same kind of thing, um, with the lifting ring, the pumpkin lifting ring on it with the straps down. You hover it over your pumpkin carefully, put the straps around, and then cinch that one at the bottom and carefully lift it up. Whereas that rope on the bottom that goes around, you have to double it back so it won't open up, and it cradles the fruit and you can carefully lift it. And at that point, I put um, one of those words are hard. What do you call it? A palette. Either one of those prefab ones, or you make your own fancy palette and you put that down, and then you put some that insulation, styrofoamy stuff, not too squishy, the solid stuff, but it's still got a little cushion. Put that on there, and then you put your pumpkin back down gently. Then you get your forks and you pick that sucker up gently and protect it from sliding or bouncing, and carefully take that to your trailer, wherever that is. Okay, I think some people use the tripod. Remember the tripod I was talking to you about that almost killed my dog? Something like that with some tackle. What do you call that? Words. Where's Ruger? He left. He can't help me. Forklift. Sure. Um, Pulley system. It's like a, yeah, it's like a pulley system They can do the same thing with the pumpkin ring and a pulley system and a tripod, where people will use like 6x4s or something that are like, I don't know how long, 18 feet long or whatever, depending on what you need. Mine are not that big, but when you're talking about 2,000 pounds, maybe you need that. People do that too because that's um, more doable. They don't maybe have a big tractor or forklift or skid steer or something like that. And then they'll lift it up and then pull their truck in under it or back their trailer in under it and then let it down carefully. That's also an option. The very first one that we had, the farmer, that good man, I stopped him on the road and I said, "Did you?" Because our property, here's the road up here, and then it goes down. Here's my garden. You can't really see it from the road. I said, "Have you seen my garden?" He said, "Oh yeah, I saw what you got over there." He knows. So I said, "I need some help picking up my pumpkin." He goes, "I got you. What time do you want me to be there?" What a good man. So he came over and brought his skid steer, and we had borrowed a pumpkin lifting ring, and we're all learning together because there was nobody there who had done it before. It was fun. It was really scary though after you put all that time, energy, and money into that. You're like, uh, if it's banged up, it can get disqualified. If it has a hole in it, it can be disqualified. Didn't want that to happen. Block and tackle. Yes, that's what I don't know. Pulley system, something like that. Is my microphone still working? Anyway, what else do I got going on over here? My AI. Oh, you see that? That's my granddaughter. So, like I told you, I used to dress up for Halloween. Oh, I still do. And my mom would also dress up. And one of her costumes was this one year, and she was just a giant pumpkin, which is funny because I had no idea I was going to start growing giant pumpkins. And I started growing them after she passed away, so she never saw these. But my granddaughter found it and she put it on and started dancing around the house. This was a few years back. Hilarious. I love that picture. I also have a video of the dance, but I don't think I have it on this computer. This was my very first. No, this was 2020. My first. mm, So this is what the plant looked like. I don't know if you can see my stupid little shed and the tiny little patch that the pumpkin is growing in. If you have an opportunity to grow a giant pumpkin, 1,000 square feet per plant is ideal. I have 315 square feet, so I am sadly limited. But you can see the slope of the land, and it's there from the top of my garden to the bottom of my garden is a 5 foot drop. Not a lot of space, and I was so mad at the weeds that year. The weeds are so aggressive that I just threw down tarps. You see this blue stuff? I just said, I'm sick of it. Just put tarps down. I'm not really a great gardener when it came to the weeds. So here's a different view. I don't know if you can see it very well. Um, the tarps trying to kill the weeds. I think I have corn growing there. This is the year, the very first year I grew. I didn't know to do the one pumpkin thing. And I ended up just letting everything grow. So you know what that meant? Oh, there's me and Maggie. Don't die, Maggie. Stop eating shit. Here's my granddaughter. That's our first pumpkin. All the weeds. Oh my gosh. That was our very first one. 404 pounds. Not really taking good care of it, to be honest. That's the 2 years later. That's no 2021. 2021. Yep, 2021. It had a name, and I cannot remember it right now. She was a pretty pumpkin. Oh, here's the spares. Each one was like 200 pounds. There's Charlie. He's 8 foot tall. And these are the trees that are now gone. There's 2 here, 1 there. Pretty good sized trees. Gone. So there's 5 pumpkins here. You can only see 4, but there's 1 behind here. So I had 5 extra pumpkins. And they were huge. We just dragged them behind the tractor, just rolled them onto a tarp and just dragged their asses up here. No. Well, they're still Atlantic giants, so they're still not yummy. But I could have sold them. Now I put them on Facebook Marketplace and people buy them by the pound. 50 cents a pound. Not bad. There's a night shot of heaven, so I bought some because they don't have any electricity out there in my tiny little town at their sign. I put some solar lights out there. This was the other side of her. What was her name? Her buddy. I had 2 pumpkins growing. The other one's name was Cloud. That one. She was white. And I was out there in the garden. This is what can happen to giant pumpkins, and it's so scary. I'm out there doing stuff. I had like a teepee over her. You have to shade them because the rapid temperature change can cause them to split. And I took the curtain off to take some pictures, and while I was staring at her, she popped, and I went, "Oh man!" And something like that can disqualify them if you take a probe of any sort. Usually people use zip ties because they can be long and pretty flexible and thin. If you can slip it in there and it goes all the way into the cavity, it's disqualified. Okay. She wasn't disqualified, but it was so ugly. This big giant gash. I still called her Cloud. I still liked her. There's me, thinner, younger, in the midst of losing all my hair because of my thyroid issues. That's another story. Anyway, that's who I took to the way off. And you see the giant, thick insulation board she was growing on that helps to keep the mice from getting under there and eating a hole in your pumpkin. And that'll ruin it too. Yeah, after I was done with all those pumpkins, I'm like, what am I going to do with them? So we dragged them out back and I chopped them up with a machete. And somebody came and took nibbles. I don't care who, but pumpkin seeds, I don't know if you know this, are raw, raw, are a natural dewormer. Who knew? So if they were eating the seeds, good for them. Maybe they needed that. Hogs. 200-pound hogs. Good lord. I love bacon. I just do. This is a dog kennel. Came with the property. And when I saw it, it didn't look that nice. So I rebuilt it. I made it look that nice in 2019. And then it needed repainting. Just last year, I finally got around to it. This is my granddaughter with one of my pumpkins. See the structure I had to build to protect her from the elements. And all the electricity I have to run out there, keep a fan on her to keep her cool. Yep, my electric bill is crazy. And so when the power went out for 6 days, not not only did I have a tree in my garden on my pumpkin plant, I also had no way to water or keep her cool. I build these little hoop houses to start the plant because the temperature is still cold here. Keeps the soil warm, keeps the plant warm, keeps, well, it's plastic. And then in the daytime when it warms up, I have to go out there and open them up so they don't cook. Okay. This is one of the leaves. It's the end of the season, so it looks bad. But see how how big that leaf is. Let's see if I can move this. Let's see that leaf. I think the biggest leaf I've ever had on a plant was 27 inches across, but they get bigger than that. It's amazing. Yeah, give them whole. Give them whole. Yeah. Yep. If you have um, critters, cows, or um, goats, or whatever it is you're raising, just cut your little pumpkins in half. They don't have to be a giant pumpkin, they could be a field pumpkin. Just throw them in there. I've seen that picture before. Oh, alright. So I tried to do a time lapse and they grow so fast that you can see them grow day to day, just get bigger and bigger. I have not figured out what camera, how to set it up. You gotta make sure it doesn't get wet when you're watering, when you're feeding, or knocked over. All those things happen to me. I have not figured it out. Yeah. All right. Let's see. What else do I have to show you? Oh, these are my. Oh, there's Cloud when she wasn't busted. She looked so pretty then. Look how white she looked. Look at that. So pretty. That's why I named her Cloud. And then the one I took to the show, I cannot even remember her name. I still have seeds from this pumpkin in my freezer. Keep all your seeds in the freezer, people. Let's see what other. I think we've seen all the coolest pictures. I've only been doing this for a few years. No. Oh, here's my cat. I have I have a couple of black cats, but this is my favorite one. Come here. Let's see if you can see that. That's Yojo. He's cool. If never settle, if you need some seeds, you want to grow some giant pumpkins, I can hook you up. I can help you find some in your local area, or I can give you what I got. We are part of a group called the Great Pumpkin Commonwealth. I don't know if this if it will. Oh, it will get bigger. That's our logo. Great Pumpkin Commonwealth. Since I'm in Michigan, I am part of the Michigan chapter, and $25. Oh, I think I should probably pay my membership. Derp. For $25, we have 2 meetings, and in the spring meeting, which is coming up, you get seeds from the group. I have given my own seeds, and they gather these seeds. You can also get seeds from auctions if they're highly desirable seeds. They're going to cost you a lot of money and they're going to be harder to get because there are only so many. In a giant pumpkin, it's not guaranteed that they're going to have seeds, but they generally do have 300 to maybe 600 seeds. Sounds like a lot, but is like a third of those not going to germinate? Maybe they're ghost seeds. When you process them, you clean them, dry them, you can test them for if they're going to germinate, if they're hollow, or if they really have the genetics inside of them. Um, they're going to be able to germinate. I have not gotten more than 500 seeds out of a pumpkin, and I swear half of them are just not going to germinate, and I throw them away or toss them out. By the time I've dried them, nobody wants them anyway, and they're just a husk. They're just the shell, nothing on the inside, so they're not worth eating. They're very tough. They're much larger than a regular seed. So anyway, go to the meetings, you become a member for really and you get to learn something. So we're going to have a speaker, and then you're going to get to talk to other growers, and a couple of the growers there are, world record holders, and they have, way more practice at this, way more knowledge, and I like to um, pick their brains. I think I struggle with the size of my garden and the fact that I have too many damn trees. But other than that, I should be able to get at least 1,000-pound pumpkin, but this has eluded me. Good night, O. Henry. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. I do. Thank you so much. So my groups, I don't know if that's not going to look good. Where is it? Let's see. No. Our logo is this one. Pretty cool. I like it. had some stickers made one year, and I mean the group. It's what loosely known as a group. We all love growing giant fruit, and we all like talking about pumpkins. But it's not like we do have T-shirts. Yeah, it's kind of like having a YouTube channel. You got some merch. So I have a shirt, I have a hat, uh, and they just opened up for the not just not just our group, but the national group just opened a charter membership. So for a certain amount of dollars, you can say you're a member now of the mother group, which they never had before. So that's new this year. I'm like, you guys aren't really good at like generating cash. It's definitely, they'd always try to do sponsorships. So, soil companies or fertilizer companies or insecticide companies, they will sponsor. And when you do well and you grow a giant pumpkin and you win like your state's new record or the world record or something, these companies will lavish all these gifts on you. So that $300 bottle of fertilizer is now free. Wonderful. Bonus. I haven't been a party to that yet, but um, it is a perk if you do well. Yes, I am in Michigan. Michigan. It is a cool logo. I like it. That's very neat. Never settle. So funny. I like the color red. That's maybe what drew me. No? I don't know. I think when I was flipping through YouTube looking for something to watch, there was Toilet Seat Man, who's just this big guy with a toilet seat on his head. And then there was a lot of Indians, like the type in India, playing weird games. Or it was just some lady cooking in a very sketchy kitchen. And that was what I had to watch. And then I guess I came upon Critter and I went, well, hold up. What's this guy doing? This looks this looks cool. And so I stayed. Don't be hating. Nobody's hating. Where did you drive? In Michigan or in Nebraska? Why would you drive through Michigan? Unless you're trying to get to, I don't know, Canada? Wouldn't do it. I mean, if you didn't have to. Although the UP is special. It is. Ooh, F-550. Holy crap. Yeah, that sounds sketchy as hell in snow. Barefoot Dave's Shop in Grand Haven. Never heard of it. Wow. Barefoot Dave, huh? I cannot type, just so you know. Grand Haven. Yeah, that's right on Lake Michigan. Local t-shirt and sweatshirt shop. Specializing in the latest fashion beach trends. Nice. I don't think I've ever been in there, but I would definitely go in there for sure. I go to every touristy place possible, but I also like to see the local landscape kind of, like if they have an antique store, if they have, I will go to a garage sale in a new town just to see how people live. You never know what treasures you're gonna find. But yeah, we went. If there's a lighthouse, I'm gonna climb it. If there's a museum, I'm gonna go. Some funny little town has their own little museum. I'm going. Okay. If I ever come to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, my stepdaughter and her husband live in South Carolina. We're trying to plan a trip. Cool. Um, we need to go down there. But they're close to Charleston. Kind of an expensive city. I have a funny story where I fly into that town and immediately stole something. Criminal. Is this your store? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Yeah. Oh, no, I don't. Yeah. No, I didn't get any discounts. But I didn't get arrested, so not the first time, though. Or the second time. Same trip. Thief. Holy crap. Can't take me anywhere. So we get off the plane, and Charleston's airport is adorable. Adorable. And immediately, everybody has to use the restroom, but I go into the little store, the little shop. I want to get myself a trinket because it's been a couple hours. It's time for a trinket. And I go in and I'm looking around. I pick something up, and it dawns on me. I left my purse on the plane. I can't pay for anything. I haul ass back to where we got off. And I'm like, wait, I left my purse on the plane. They're like, can you describe it? The plane is still here. We can go in and look for it. And I'm like, I describe it. And she goes, psych, it's right here. I knew. I'm like, oh, really stressed out. And in my hand is the little trinket still. Oops, didn't pay for it. So we had to go back and pay for it and apologize. What? Yeah. Oh, that town. I I liked it. You couldn't tell by how many times I've tried to steal stuff. Like, every shop was pretty high end. They had like I don't know what you call it when you an open. It wasn't really an open air, but it was um a a place where you could go and everybody had a booth. Okay, indoors, but it was breezy. I was told that it's where they used to sell slaves, but okay, now we're just selling tchotchkes. Thank you, Jesus. And so, that was not bad. I mean, they still had some high end art in there, but most of the town was pretty high end. That little section of everybody with their artistic booths, not so bad, and um, still could be pricey, but It when we were there, it was not warm, and we thought it was gonna be warm, and I needed a jacket. I didn't bring a coat. What the crap is wrong with me? I didn't pack a coat. And I didn't want I mean, we went and looked at the pashminas, for $600 or a nice fur coat. And I'm like, I really don't need all that because as soon as I buy it, it'll warm up. We're gonna be there for a week, and it never did get warm anyway, by the way. And so we found a self-serve Target. Now, I don't shop at Target for reasons, but self-serve, so that's weird. And we're looking around, and it looks like they just set up the store, so it's all kind of new, and things were still in boxes on the floors and in the corners. It was kind of weird, and it was a tiny little place. And I'm just quick running through looking for a jacket. Come on, it gotta be a cheap jacket. Not really, but they had like a pleather little jacket. I didn't want cotton. I didn't want the wind to go through me. So this pleather thing kind of fit the bill. And so I grabbed that and I'm like, well, the only purse I brought was this fancy one that went with summer clothes that I was not going to wear now. So I'm like, let me grab like this little purse too to kind of go with it in pleather, right? And it was still $100 for these two items. And I did put my card in the self checkout, that little stupid kiosk where you have to do your own shit. And so I do all that. I get a receipt and we leave, you know, and if the place is busier than, get out. And we hear a bunch of beeping and buzzing, but nobody says anything. And we just said, okay, it's not us. And we left. Get back to my stepdaughter's house. And all of a sudden, this purse thing that I bought, I open it up and I see it has like a lock on it, like an alarm. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want to cut this off because it's huge. And who knew it was even in there? But there was nobody to check me out. I was left alone. I was unsupervised. So I go to cut it off and it just starts shrieking. And it's so freaking loud. And I swear to God, the neighbors can hear. And I'm like, I put it under a pillow. My husband storms up the stairs. What is that noise? I'm laughing, but I'm also crying. And I'm like, I feel terrible because now it looks like I stole something from the store. And his daughter and son in law is going to judge me. I have a receipt. Anyway, it never stopped screaming, and it was nighttime now, and we all wanted to go to bed. And we're Googling it real quick to get some way of how to make it stop. And some people are like, put it underwater. That doesn't work, I've learned. Anyway, after many hours of trying to figure this out, I think we just smashed it with a hammer, which we couldn't find because they don't really do hammers, tools, and stuff. They're kind of indoor cats. So, oh my god. I don't know if I could show my face in South Carolina again. I can't be left alone. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't even know where that purse went. Now embarrassing. Anyway, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's almost 1 o'clock. Yeah, like a swap meet. I don't know what they call it. Let's see. I should probably Google that and figure out what they really do call it. Some kind of market. I'm sure I have photos of it. City market. Brrr. City market. Historic complex in downtown Charleston, established in the 1790s. Some terrible history. And it's funny that there's a lot of cute and beautiful and wonderful things in the town, but a lot of it is, hey, don't forget your past, you bunch of slave owners. Just saying. I'm sure I'm on some kind of watch list now. Can't take me anywhere. Are you saying that you have a store? Next time I need to live stream. And I don't even drink anymore. It's not like I'm not an alcoholic still. I am. I think maybe I just behave like one without the alcohol. Oh my god. 3 locations. So one of them is in uh, um one of them's in Michigan. Man, I used to drink all the drinks. My favorite was Long Island iced teas, and I would have like 3 or 4 of them. So it's bad. Bad. Hunting and stuff. Hey, how you doing? We're all still up. Why? I think my TV just shut itself off finally. I don't know who it was watching. I just leave it on YouTube. Yes, Captain Morgan. Oh my gosh, all my friends. Yes, not good. Not good for me. I mean, some people can drink and they're very pleasant people. Not me. Okay. 6 pack of Jack. Nice. I can't do it. I have one drink. I have to have them all. Like a Pokemon. Why am I up late? It's because I was going to edit pictures. Did I though? Not really. I was sharing. Sharing is caring. I was sharing some of my thoughts, images. Um, our logo for our Michigan pumpkin group. Some of my pumpkins that I've grown. I was thinking about making a intro and outro so I can just add that to every video that I do about pumpkins. I already have like my logo for my outdoor, my, trail cameras that I call Outback cameras because they are Outback and they are cameras. It's very creative. So I need something for the pumpkins because it's gonna start here pretty soon. I'll be starting seeds in the basement under grow lights with special soil, and and then I'll have to go outside. I think I have to prepare one of the beds. It had heating cables in it, to warm up the soil, but I broke one with the rototiller last fall, so they gotta go. Um, and I did not get them all up, all the pieces. Terrible. Anyway, so I gotta do that, and then it depends on how warm it is. I gotta set up my little hoop houses, and then I gotta find all my little heaters and the lights, clamps. I try to keep my little shed organized. There's my little shed. Picture of my shed. Used to be a dog kennel. And I don't keep my dog in there, so I made it my garden shed. And I painted it red, put some fancy white trim on there, and made it look like a barn. And I made the doors. So crafty. Australian OSB works on Apple. Oh, I need to probably invest some more money. We love that. I did hunting and stuff. I used to be a brunette until I decided to stop dyeing my hair because I'm old and it really is white. And I said, since it's growing out white, I'm gonna just let it go. And it doesn't grow in nice white. It's not a beautiful white. Looks like shit. But I'm doing the best I can. This is my granddaughter. She's much older now, but she was super mad at me for not dyeing it anymore. Oh, and also menopause made all my hair fall out. Menopause and thyroid problems. It's not the chronic illness, but it attributes to all my problems. Eventually, they all kind of ball up and attack me at the same time. My raised beds were still frozen. What? Till today. So there's nothing getting planted right yet. And my compost pile, which, if you were here for the story about my dog trying to die, the compost pile is frozen. So it's not hot. So I'm not adding any compost to my garden until things warm up a little bit. OSB is free? What is this magic you speak of? I want to know. It looks blonde. Well, it's because I told them to try and make my white look blonde. Hmm, squeaking by. Sorry, it's not cute. I'd rather be brown, but they cannot make it look so good. I mean, I could spend all my money on that, but I have pumpkins to grow. And my hair was falling out. I think the dye. Okay, menopause, thyroid, the hair dye, all bad for your hair when you're old. Your parents love? Where? Ireland? Is that what we're talking about? Hello from Ireland? Oh, are you in Ireland? I love Ireland. It's the size of Michigan. Not a very big country. It's actually called the Republic of Ireland, unless you're in the British part. Where are you? Where are you? Azza 96 Ari? Where are you? I know Donegal. I am a grandma. I am very much a grandma. Lighting and makeup does me wonders. It's great. I'm 70 today. Bullshit. Not here. I think we got up to 60. And still not warm enough. Okay, so if you were here for the whole garden fiasco story of how the black walnut trees hate me and everything I tried to grow. So my husband made me raised beds, industrial strength raised beds. So those things are frozen solid. Just saying. Yes, your tractor looks beautiful. I love the color. Good job. I think I asked a question, but I didn't go back to see if you answered it about was that rattle can or do you have a sprayer? It looks like a lot of spraying. You're in Dublin. Oh, oh, right on. Dublin is a beautiful town. I went to that big mall in there where I had to pay to use the toilet. But I love Ireland. My mother's name is Sutton, so we went to Sutton. Oh, there's 96. You know what my real name is? Do you? Do you know it? No. And I love the fact that I use more consonants than vowels. It's appreciated. Keeps us on our toes. What's a gilf? Oh, okay, never mind. No. Took me a minute. Yes, all right, cool. That's all I thought. That looked too nice to be rattle can. I don't have a clue what my real name is. It's not an easy name. It's an Irish name. That's what I was kind of hoping. My new Irish friend, maybe new. My name is Siobhan. The Irish spelling. I think there was some lady on like one of those TV shows where you sing or something, or America's Got Talent or something like that. She had my name. Is my mother was pregnant with me, and she was watching the movie King of Kings. It was a long time ago, and the woman who played Mary, she loved her name. And she said, "Oh, this is pregnant with me." She's like, "That if it's a girl, that's what we're gonna name her." So she gave us all unique names. Nobody got like a common name. Thank you very much. Yeah, so when I went to Ireland, my mother took my daughter, and she's special, so she had to have me be with her. So she brought me too. And I was, we were on a tour of a museum because that's what I like to do. And when you're new somewhere and you want to learn the history, you don't want to bother the locals. You want to pay the locals to tell you their business. So I did. And this very tall, beautiful woman whose name tag was on her chest and it came to my eye and I'm looking at it going EBH, whole bunch of other letters, some other letters, and I'm like, "Ma'am, what is your name? Is that what's on your tag?" She says, "Well, thank you for asking. It's Evelyn." And I said, "I should have known that." Because I have a B and an H in my name and kind of makes that V sound. And my daughter's name is the same. So, anyway, embarrassing myself in other countries as well. You can't take me anywhere. Siobhan. I like how you spelled it though. Maybe I should change it. No, I haven't started my seeds yet. I haven't started my giant pumpkin seeds. I'm not gonna start any giant sunflowers because I'll have to start those outside. And I think I might start some giant tomatoes. Those you can start in the house. Yeah, I'm excited about those. I won last year by default, but anyway, I'll take it. Yeah, and you don't plant these fancy seeds out in the garden. You start them indoors. And because they're so thick and big, uh, you have to do a lot of fiddling with them before you put them in any soil. Maybe we can have a live stream about that, about starting the seeds because it is a process. I think I did a video, a really short little video about it. Not last year, maybe the year before. Yes, if I take we're gonna go down memory lane and tell some stories. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Love to hear from others around the world. I think I'd like to visit New Zealand. So much beauty there. Touch their grass. I'm all about grabbing grass. I'm gonna ask. I'm a grass grabber, grass grabber. Good Lord, you can't take me. It's so weird. So all the hair on my head started falling out and started showing up on my chin and my uh, under my nose and in my ears and in my nose. But the armpit hairs disappeared. That's okay. I mean, whatever, be gone. But that's not going to be that exciting. Um, and a hairy chin, it's not that exciting. exciting either. When I was in Ireland, I loved it. You wanna know why? No freaking trees. And you can grow pineapple trees there. You can grow palm trees there. Can't do that in Michigan. Fun fact, unless you're growing it in a greenhouse indoors. Thanks, Oak Ridge. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping me out. I appreciate it. Good night. And stuff. Yeah, mine. Yeah, yeah. But unfortunately, mine was female pattern baldness uh, from my thyroid. I would rather, I mean, if I love trees, don't get me wrong, they're nice when you need shade. Um, but if you're trying to grow stuff, shade is not what you want. Roots are not what you want. All the stuff that falls out of trees, not what you want. But I understand that the trees on the Republic of Ireland were stolen. That that country was denuded um, to build the Spanish Armada. That's what I was told when I went to one of those um, historic museums in one of the little towns in Ireland, which was fascinating. I love those rather than some big production where they're going to spend zillions of dollars to wow you with their electronics. No, no, I went to homespun museums. So interesting. Anyway, yeah, monkey trees. Do you have a monkey tree anywhere near you? I never heard of such a thing until I was in Ireland, and they're so interesting looking. Not my, I mean, they weren't something that was so big and would ruin my garden. Pretty interesting. Oh yeah, you guys have the greatest history. I mean, everybody has their ups and downs, but I love it when it's not corporate. Because Ireland was so self-sufficient and took on their own life, and then they didn't join the EU until so recently. And that brought good and it brought bad, but there was still a lot of really great local um, history and people who are willing to share. And I think that Americans can be really rude because we don't know that we're being rude. Sometimes we do, but we were really trying not to be rude. But I can't help it. I apologize. Yes, you fought for a long, long time. If I lived there, I would do the same shit. Mm-mm. Scotland would be another place. I would love to go to Poland. My daughter wants to go to Japan. That would be a real big stretch for me, but willing to do it. Should do it. Not getting any younger. Yeah. Yup. Yeah, I became a world traveler. But we cheat here in Michigan because we can just go cross the border and be in Canada. Doesn't count, but it's still technically another country. A socialist country. Close to being communist, but still another country. Should probably wrap this up. It's been fun, and I've really enjoyed chatting. I thought I was gonna just sit here and work on pictures, but this has been more fun. How far am I from Gundog? I would have to say where his family has their blueberry fields is maybe an hour and 15 or hour and 20 minutes away from me, so not bad. And that might sound weird um, because in Ireland, when I was there, and I don't think it's changed much, but they don't, it's, it's so very quaint and beautiful and interesting. It's not like here where we have a grid pattern and you can, go in a straight line. You can't really go in a straight line. So here, when I say it's an hour and 20 minutes away, it means pretty much a straight shot from me to him, and there's no curves, nothing in between. I don't know where he lives, but that's where the family farm is. Ooh, West Indies. Like a pirate. I've been a pirate for Halloween. I think it was Captain Jack Sparrow. So I make a pretty decent looking little man. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. I would love to hear more about how life is now. It's been since I think I was in Ireland in 2009. So that's right after the big economic crash where all the new buildings and all that stuff, they were fixing up the airport and everything was stopped. Like money flow had been cut off. It was terrible. Still a beautiful country. I did appreciate it. Thank you again. Oh, thanks. I look forward to seeing you again. As 96. I love it. Thank you again. See you again. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I should probably end this, but since my phone, see, I'm using the back camera, so I'm not backwards, and you could actually probably read things. To turn it off, the button is on the other side, so I'm gonna have to figure it out. Anyway, thanks again. I'm gonna have to close this out. I think I'm done with all my dishes. All I have to do is get ready for bed. Go to bed now. It's 1:26 in the morning here. Appreciate everybody for stopping by and listening to my silly stories and looking at my pictures. I didn't accomplish anything. I didn't scan anything. My dog didn't come over and say hello. Maybe she will next time. She is breathing, so that's good. Alright. Forgive me, I'm gonna have to get off of the screen and figure out how to turn this off. So, thank you. Good night, Jesse. Good night, Quack. Good night, Hunting and Stuff. I don't know who else is still here. Appreciate you. Thanks again. Thanks for swinging in. Maybe we'll do this again sometime. Toodles. Peace. Aaron, go brah. I'm gonna knock this down.